Yeah, ish.
Start the stream. Sweet, we've been live for 2 seconds.
Awesome.
At least that's what YouTube tells me. Hey,
Right.
don't forget, believe everything you see on the internet, everything you hear, everything you read, everything you watch. All
And YouTube
truth.
chat is awesome. It never breaks.
Well, no, and the people that are part of YouTube chat, they don't lie either.
Yep.
Everything you see on the internet is legit,
What the fuck?
right? Da, 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 da. Sweet. At least it says, at least we're live. It's better than not live.
Yep. I think mine's loading up now.
Hey, if we weren't live, we'd be dead.
Yep. True story.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Woohoo. All right. So we've got a couple of topics for today's show.
We do.
Yeah, nothing too out of the ordinary, I guess you could say.
That's actually something we haven't really discussed before in any sort of detail, so it should be pretty cool.
What, stuff that's out of the ordinary? Like
Right.
UFOs, Bigfoot, shit. Are we talking?
Just, tech side of things. I think we've talked about some UFO shit before, or at least some Skynet shit.
Hey, Skynet, it's the wave of the future.
Yep.
It's when your toaster starts eating your hand after you give it a piece of bread.
Right.
It's bound to happen eventually.
Well, I got the stream loaded up on one of my PCs and not the other, but I can see chat on both of them, so I guess it's all good.
Hey, at least you can see chat. That's what matters most, right?
Right.
So, anywho, yeah, you had brought up I know you'd been talking a lot about a second rig for streaming games from your Xbox, right?
Right.
How's that working out for you?
It's been not too terrible. Only thing bottlenecking me is the capture card itself. When I upgrade that, I should be running almost flawlessly, but it does work without any hitches. It was very time consuming to set up, but it is worth it. I'm overall happy with it.
Well, that's good to know. Now, what are your chances of up in the near future, or is this something that's going to be an ongoing project for you?
It's going to be an ongoing project, but the bulk of the money has been spent, so it shouldn't be too much longer till I've reached a state of near completion. So I would say in about 2 to 3 months, I should have it where I want it.
Well, that'll be nice.
But for now, it does okay. I mean, it streams my Xbox at 30 frames, PC games at 30 frames, but it's a constant 30 frames. It doesn't go all over the place anymore.
Now,
So it's nice to have.
is that 30 frames bottlenecked from the capture card or from the actual game itself?
It's the capture card because the Xbox is capable of doing 60 frames a second, but all you get is 30 running it through this capture card, which is an Aver Capture HD GL310. It costs about $120. The next one I'm going to get is probably a Blackmagic Intensity PCI Express version, and I think that's going to run about $2 to $250 if I'm not mistaken.
Well, then again, that's not too terrible.
Right, because I'll get 1080p 60 frames a second all day long.
Well, then that's ultimately what you want.
Right.
Now, I've got a question for you.
Alrighty.
Now, knowing what you and I both know about streaming rigs and what you and I would hope know about media center PCs, what's the actual difference? I mean, other than the obvious stuff.
I think you would probably be better to explain that one, to be completely honest. I see far too many similarities.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The only difference between a media center and a streaming rig is the capture card itself. Everything else is the same thing, and
Right.
you don't need it to be too over the top to get what you want out of it. To be
Right.
honest with you. Because if you look at a streaming rig, you're not gonna put whatever's in your main rig in there unless you're deciding to, one, upgrade your main rig, or two, have the spare parts to project.
Right.
But
That's basically how I did mine. Was crafted it with spare parts and stuff like that. Like my streaming rig is way overkill for what it is. The only reason I've got as much into it as I do is because I was repurposing my gaming rig parts, like you said.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You had the spare parts to do it.
Right.
I don't have. Well, don't get me wrong. I have the spare parts to do something like that, but at the same time, I don't have decent enough parts to where I could do both. I can either do one or the other.
Right.
I
And that's
mean,
where this comes in.
mm-hmm. You see, that's where I'm coming at from now. I mean, it doesn't take much to take a media center PC, other than a capture card, a decent one at that, and plug it in there, turn it on, and just let yourself go.
Right.
That's really the only difference. So I don't understand why some people, feel the need to, one, make a media center PC and a streaming rig if they have the ability to just do an all-in-wonder box.
Right.
One, it'll save you money, and two, if you upgrade one, you're upgrading the other.
Very true.
So again, you're saving money and time, because you don't have to wait God knows how long for, the newest and latest and greatest to come out and buy two of them.
Yep.
The only way it would be an issue is if your media center PC's in a different room than your streaming rig.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at, because for me to have a media center PC, it'd be in my living room, which is where I watch, most of my shows and stuff like that. Coming to the man cave, it's all gaming and streaming right there. I don't really have room to put a television in here, a large television. So
Yeah.
in my case, it'd be better to have both if
Mm-hmm.
I was going to do it.
But the thing of it is do you have roommates?
I have one, yes.
Yeah, I can understand, where you're coming from, having both, but where I'm at in my point in life, I'm married, have a beautiful wife, and we have a nice TV in the living room, as well as, all of this stuff that you see behind me. This
Right.
is both of our offices. I have a little as most of it. Why? Because I don't need that much space.
I hear you, man.
Video editing and shooting videos does not take up that much room.
Right.
But anywho, if I was to do what you're doing, I would just build one machine. Why? Because she and I both play games and we both watch a lot of movies, and it would make sense for us just to have one in the living room, and then just put a massive USB extender onto a camera,
Right.
and and even these skull handy.
It's a handy skull.
Yeah, handy skull. The Skull Candy headset has a massive USB cable, as far as length goes. So I could sit 10 feet away and still be able to, flip down the mic and chat to people online, as well as, you know, capture the game and, stream it, because then I can sit back on my couch and be comfortable and play the game as I would normally do in the first place.
Right.
And still have the media center PC for the massive amount of movies and shit that I've got.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something I've thought about doing. It's right now my issue though is, lack of space, things like that. That'll be taken care of by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really hard to find a house for rent over here that's not astronomical.
That
But
and I'm sure the tornado warnings aren't helping.
yeah. For the viewers that don't know, I actually saw one on my way back from the store a little while ago. We actually get them quite frequently over here in Bay St. Louis, and yeah, I was just driving down the beach heading home, and there it goes, just forms right in the middle of the bay, touches down for a little bit, and then goes right back up. And I'm just like, huh, haven't seen one of them in a few weeks.
There you go.
Yeah. So yeah, weather's really crappy over here too, by the way. So if I cut in and out, I'm blaming Mediacom.
I blame the weather.
Or that. I just like blaming Mediacom though.
Are they that bad?
They can be. Like when they're bad, they're really bad. Like lose service for 8 hours type of bad.
Why the hell would you lose service for 8 hours?
They say they're constantly doing maintenance on the lines in Florida, and somehow that is here. That's what they've told me every time I've called them.
And where are you at current?
I'm about 350 miles away from where those said lines are that they're working on.
Mediacom, you're fucking up. Stop it.
Yep. Everybody hashtag that.
Hashtag fuck Mediacom.
Yep. That's it. Now, when they work great. No problems, but yeah.
You see, I've got CenturyLink.
Who?
CenturyLink.
I think I've ever heard of them. Were they owned by one of the larger companies?
I can't remember, but they usually partner and bundle with DirecTV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
how's your service?
Fine. I haven't had any hiccups in service or in speed since I've got them.
Very cool.
And I'm running two 25-foot USB Cat 5 cables.
Mm-hmm.
One to more or less each end of the house. And then
right.
and I've got it bridged off of another router.
Very cool.
So basically I've got the one end of the house is hardlined into the CenturyLink router. My rig is plugged directly into the CenturyLink router, and then I've got a small cable that goes out and then plugs into my Cisco wireless router. And I've got like six different things connected at any given point in time. I've got, this rig, the PS3, the TV, my wife's Wii in our bedroom, both hers and my phones, and there's one other I can't think of off the top of my head. But even with all of those connected, on a speed test on this rig, 40 down, 20 up, solid.
Very good.
And look at it, I have 0 issues.
Yeah, I run something similar on mine. I mean, I don't have a second router. I'm actually using the one that was provided for me, which is actually pretty nice. It's DOCSIS 3 with Wi-Fi capabilities built in. Got 3 gaming rigs hard-lined into it, and run 2 cell phones, 2 laptops, tablets, and I think my roommate's running his to the Wii U, I think. I had my Xbox One on it, but I took it off because I had one extra port on the router for hardline, so why not?
Right. And besides, the Xbox can do just as good wirelessly as it can wired.
Yeah, I literally can't tell a difference. I mean, it's only going to get 50 megs any way you do it.
And, that was thought on, using or for the PS3 and the Blu-ray player.
Oh yeah, we got one of those too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the Blu-ray, I thought about just running Wi-Fi for those, but I didn't want to crowd my wireless network with devices that I'm not gonna constantly use.
Yep.
People that come over and want to use Wi-Fi on their phones, I would rather have those ports and IP addresses available for them rather than, it being used by a game I'm going to turn on and watch Netflix occasionally, or,
Right.
play a game online occasionally. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
It's either that or you figure out which wireless networks is open in your area and then just steal from them.
Right. I tried that, but man, somehow everyone around me in this apartment is smart enough to have it locked. I was floored. Like nobody left it unlocked.
That's kind of surprising.
It really is, man. I was surprised. Genuinely surprised.
Because normally, no matter where you go, there is at least one
Yep.
access point, no matter where,
Yep.
that is going to be open. And I'm not talking about, how you can turn on the guest,
Right.
you have your main set of parameters that says, I'm locking you out. And then you have this thing that says guest, which, doesn't make sense. I turn that shit off all the time.
Oh, definitely. There's no getting in the mind without me knowing about it
And there's
or
no
giving permission.
and
Yeah.
there's no point to have it. Why? It's like, why am I going to give unauthorized access to somebody on the outside world?
Yep.
But
See, I don't know about your ISP, but with mine, they're very serious about mine. So all it would take is one person to mess it up for you.
define shenanigans.
Meaning torrenting, explicit be looking at basically, and they're very serious about that.
I've downloaded torrents, and I haven't heard word one from my ISP saying to knock it off.
I downloaded Mirror's Edge 3 years ago, and I got a warning.
And you still have the same ISP from then?
Yes.
Looks like you're in need of a change there, brother.
Possibly, but they have the fastest service though. That's the only reason I don't want to change. My other option is AT&T Uverse, and it's about 10 down, 5 up if you're lucky. I'm getting like 110 down and 40 up. So it's gonna be kind of hard for me to do that.
Yeah, sounds like it. I'd honestly wait and see if Google Fiber ends up in your area.
It's a possibility.
If Google Fiber comes to this area, I think I'm going to jump on that. Why? Well, for one, I haven't had any issues with any services from Google at all since
This is true.
Since I started using Android. I haven't had any issues with, Gmail, Google Drive, nothing like that. Everything's been working as they said it would. And yeah. Yep. I don't see a need to question what they're doing.
I'll definitely hop on.
That way.
If they have it in my area, I will be signing up.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it.
No doubt. It's possible it may make its way over here because we've got John C. Stennis Space Center over here, and they kind of assemble rocket engines and test them. So it might be possible that it could be coming this way, mostly for their use, but it could branch out.
Yeah, but either way you look at it, the space, the whatever space complex that you've got over there, they're gonna bottleneck it anyway.
Dude, well, yeah, I mean they'd use the hell out of it.
No, it's not that. It's, you know how many computers and are attached to that network at any given point in time?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, it's the same with, with at least as far as military goes. I've noticed almost the same thing. I've seen the network service rooms, the network switch rooms. It's ridiculous how many computers are attached at one point in time. And don't get me started, because they're starting to add wireless in a lot of places now too.
Right.
Yeah, and it's getting to the point of everything is so slow.
Yep.
It reminds me of 1990s dial-up, but a
Is it
little
really
bit
bad enough to
faster.
where you can't check your email in some areas?
Email works fine. It's whenever you go to the internet and try and do things where your situation gets drastically worse.
Yeah. I've been
Because
in a crowded restaurant over here. They advertised free Wi-Fi, and I was getting about 256K down and 256K up. And you know as well as I do what you can't do with that.
yeah,
But
you can listen to Pandora, but that's about it.
yeah,
Because Pandora takes next to nothing as far as bandwidth is
yeah.
concerned.
I remember running that on the Edge network actually when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Worked fine.
Oh yeah. But it's ridiculous. I mean, you go and open up your home page, but the only home page that comes up at a decent speed is Google.
Yeah.
You type, because since we can't use Chrome, we use Internet Explorer. Don't get me wrong, IE is nice,
Hmm.
but when when Bing pops up, or no, it's MSN. Sorry, when MSN.com
Oh
pops
yeah.
up, it takes forever to load.
Yep.
Like there are times when I could open up the internet, walk out out of the break room into the hallway, down the hall, go ask somebody for the keys to the snack bar, open the snack bar, go in, spend a couple minutes deciding what I want, and then reverse process all the way back to the break room. And there are times when it still hasn't loaded yet.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. And you can't stop it. You can either hit the stop button and then wait forever for it to stop, and then try and load the page that you need to load, or you just wait for it to get done. But
Yeah.
and then there are some days when it's you click the Internet Explorer button, it pops up, 20-30 seconds later, the page is loaded and off you go.
Yep.
And sometimes within hours of each other, it'll do that too. It'll work fine and perfect for, at the beginning of the day. And then when lunchtime rolls around at about 11, 12 o'clock, it's slow as dirt.
Yep.
And then when you're checking your email at the end of the day, and doing all your paperwork, it's fast again. It's retarded.
Yep.
And you have to think, okay, in the beginning of the day, the middle and the end should be the busiest times.
Yeah.
Why? Because everybody's going to be on the network doing something. It's ridiculous.
Yep. That connection is riding the struggle bus.
It frustrates me.
Yep. But, I remember when it was worse than that, believe it or not. When I got my first smartphone, oh my God. Not only could it barely load Google in, 256 colors, but it charged you a ton of money when it did.
Oh, yeah.
That was ridiculous.
The first smartphone that I got, that actually looked like, a smartphone.
Right. Well, what I mean is, was considered to be a smartphone that had, a full QWERTY keyboard, had internet capabilities, and, and had storage that you could add things from easily.
Oh, then that would be, I had no, I started with the Instinct.
I don't remember that. Is that HTC?
No, that's Samsung. The Samsung Instinct.
I haven't seen that one. I'm gonna look that up quick.
It's a way old touchscreen phone. I don't even know if I still have that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh man, the one I had was older than that, believe it or not.
And
I had
then
a Nokia 3300, and it was mechanical keyboard. It wasn't touchscreen or a physical keyboard.
yeah, that was the one that I had first. And then I downgraded to it was another Samsung. I can't remember what the hell it was called, but the only reason I downgraded was because I went to basic training. After
Hmm.
basic training was done, I went and got the Samsung Moment.
Hmm.
That one had the slide out QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, I remember
And
that one too. Yeah.
yeah, after that one, I went to the.
Oh, that one had a camera on it too. Look at that.
Yeah, it did. And then I went to the Galaxy. Yeah, I went to the Samsung Galaxy, which was. I can't think of it now. I can't remember the name of the damn phone. Because I have Sprint, and Sprint has different names for those phones, which
Right.
annoys the hell out of me because when I would go and try and root it, I would have to, search through this freaking long ass drop down. Freaking retarded is what it was.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy to crack them. That's for sure.
Well, no, that's not true because all of the other ones were called the I-9000 or not I-1900 or something like that.
Right.
It was what it was. Sprint just called it something different. It was the Galaxy and then whatever Sprint called it.
Hmm.
And, it was essentially the same phone just under a different name. It's like going out and owning a Pontiac Firebird and then calling it a Camaro.
Right.
Why? They're essentially the same damn car.
Yeah.
There is no real difference. It's still built by GM. It's just one's a Pontiac and one's a Chevy.
One costs significantly more than the other for no reason.
Well, you're paying for not necessarily true because if you think about it, Firebird and Camaro are both synonymous for racing and big motors and this, that, and the other,
Right.
So you'd expect to pay roughly the same amount, depending on what year, what make, what year, model, and trim.
From yeah, for true. From when I remember, the Firebirds were still in production. I correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure the Trans Ams were a little bit more pricey than the Camaro SS. Both V8 models, and I think the RS and the Trans Am W6 were similar in price, if I'm not mistaken.
The WS6 uh, for the Firebird was equivalent roughly to the SS version of the.
Okay.
Now it just depends on what year you're going for. Now, both if you're looking at it, if you're looking at say the 94-ish year
Mhm.
of these two cars through I think it was 99, 98, 99, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think
When
'99 was the last year they did the Firebirds, I believe.
somewhere in there.
Mhm.
But they were F body vehicles. I don't under I never got into why they were called F body. It doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But when 96 rolled around is when they added the WS6 version of the Firebird,
Mhm.
which had the Chevy LS1 motor in it.
Yeah.
Now, if you went and bought a SS Camaro, it had from around the same year, it too had the LS1 motor. So you were getting essentially the same car. One just looked like a Firebird, the other one looked like the Camaro. That's the only difference. Both, I believe, had relatively the same specs across the board.
Yeah. I think it's just the WS6 just had like a ram air intake or something. That was about the only difference.
Yeah, it looked like a dragon's nose on the hood of the
Right.
car. Other than that, it wasn't really that much different between the two.
Yeah.
And
They're both 350s, right?
They were both 350 aluminum blocks, which saved weight. Now, in my Firebird, I had the LT1.
Yeah.
And you obviously know that the 350s also were in the Corvettes.
Yeah.
You know, so if you couldn't find a part for the Firebird or the Camaro, you could always look at LS1 motors for Corvettes, and you'd be able to find whatever part you needed. Which is what I did. Granted, mine was an older style motor, but it still was a beast of a motor.
Yeah, see, I had a I had a V6 Mustang. Was gonna get the GT, but I decided to save the money and just tune the V6. But yeah, yeah. Basically, the only parts I could get were off of like a Mercury Cougar, and it was about impossible to find them. Like it was. Every Cougar I saw around here anyway was like in shit condition or in a scrap yard for pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I don't. Did they even make a V8 version of the Cougar like past 1994?
Past 94, I don't know, but did they ever make a
version? They did.
Yes.
Yeah. Around that time, I don't think they did, or after 94, I believe. I had a 96 Mustang, I think. And it was yeah, I think the Cougars had switched to the most recent body style, and I want to say 97 maybe.
Give or take, something
like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they didn't have a V8 model of that then. Anyway, car talk.
Hey, it works, right?
All right.
Well,
yeah.
I think that's a good place to stop. I've got other stuff that I gotta do. I gotta go make sure my hot water heater's still working the way it's supposed to. That went out on me this morning.
Oh.
Never
fun.
Oh no. I woke up this morning, my wife and I woke up this morning, and it's like, it's freezing in here. Because, well, our apartments, our hot water heater is connected to our AC unit, and that's what gets our heat. And we couldn't figure out why, it wasn't working the way it was supposed to. I went and, checked all the usual culprits, checked the breaker, checked the air filter, take it apart, and just look and see if there was anything wrong. And come to find out that after calling maintenance, that the hot water heater is connected to the AC, and that's what gives us our hot air. So what's the next step you do when you find out it's connected to your hot water heater? You go and turn on your hot water. No hot water, there's something wrong with the hot water heater. Turns out my wife's guess was right, and the pilot light on the... Yeah, and
pilot light will do it.
And I reset it a couple hours ago, and I think it's still working, but, after I'd reset it, went out and took care of a few things, and then came back, and it was off again. So I've just been really just keeping an eye on it.
I hear you.
So, yeah.
How cold is it over there right now?
Inside or outside?
Outside.
Outside, survey says... Wait for the weather app to do its thing.
Yeah, mine's taking a minute too. I don't know what's up with that.
Right now, it's 50 degrees.
That's not too bad.
No. At least it's not windy anymore.
Yeah. I hear it's 70, humid, and tornado weather all week. It's looking like.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Why don't you do your things? Shameless self-promotion and all that fun jazz.
Shameless plug time.
Right?
For those of you that don't know me, I am Chris Dude on TechTube. You can find me on YouTube at Chris Dude on TechTube. Twitch TV, same thing. And you can find me on Twitter at @CMarshall. Come check me out on Twitch because that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time these days. And May 1st through May 9th, expect to see a shit ton of GTA 5. Just giving everybody a heads up.
Woohoo! GTA 5.
And hopefully me and Osiris will be doing some multiplayer wreckage. That'll be awesome.
That would be nice. Anyway. Yep. That's who...
almost forgot. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, yep, that's who he is. Just go look underneath his name or his picture. You'll find his Twitter handle. My Twitter handle is right here. Come follow me. Interact. Talk. I like to. Anywho, I've got some decent videos coming down the pike. I've got the K70 review, which I am finishing up editing. And once that's done, that'll be up early this week. Later this week, I'm going to have the Steadicam out and just a whole bunch of other stuff coming down. I'm going to do the second part of my 3D Printing 101 series. And yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. And yeah. We're going to try and do this again next week. Same time, same hour of the day. Maybe not same day of the week. Don't know yet. Depends on if life gets in the way.
It's all about life.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, it's been fun, man.
Oh, yeah. Always is.
Hopefully we can do this again next week.
Yeah.
It's all right, interwebs. Chris Dude out.
And we'll see all of you on the other side of the interwebs. Take it easy.
Peace out.
Barnacles, come join our show.
Do it. You know you want to.
I dare you. Jay, you're next. Come on. Yep.